Most audiences remember Adolph Caesar from the classic film The Color Purple as the hilarious old Mr. Johnson, or as the intense Sergeant Waters in A Soldier's Story. Yet, Caesar was far more than a character actor. He was an acclaimed Shakespearean actor who performed in over 300 stage plays. He possessed one of the most distinctive voices in Hollywood, lending his talent to over 15,000 TV and radio commercials and famously delivering the slogan, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste," for the United Negro College Fund. After years of struggle and navigating racial barriers, Caesar finally achieved elite status, earning an Oscar nomination for A Soldier's Story. This is the tragic story of a legendary artist whose career reached its zenith only to be abruptly and unexpectedly cut short when he collapsed from a fatal heart attack on a movie set at the young age of 52. Adolph Caesar was born on December 5, 1933, in Harlem, New York. He was the youngest of 3 sons. His father was black, and his mother was Dominican. From a young age, he knew he wanted to act. A pivotal moment in his youth came at the age of 12 when he caught laryngitis, which ultimately left his voice permanently deep and distinctive. He later joked that as a teenager, girls didn't want to see him, they just wanted to call up and hear his voice. Caesar also faced challenges due to his name, Adolph, during World War II when Adolf Hitler was hated. He was short, small, and had orange curly hair, leading him to fight frequently, even with girls. In 1952, after graduating high school, Caesar joined the Navy during the Korean War. He served for 5 years as a hospital corpsman and achieved the rank of Chief Petty Officer after saving some soldiers. Upon leaving the Navy, Caesar pursued his passion for theater, studying drama at New York University and graduating in 1962. He was deeply committed to classical training and became a dedicated Shakespearean actor. He studied Shakespeare to death, joking that he knew more about the playwright than Shakespeare knew about himself. He performed in over 300 stage plays and joined prestigious groups like the New York Shakespearean Festival and the American Shakespeare Company. Despite his talent, Caesar was not immune to racism in his career. A director once told him he had a marvelous voice and spoke the King's English well, but needed to go to New York and get a good color role. Because major acting roles were scarce, Caesar's primary source of income became voice narration for commercials and companies. He did voice narration for Kentucky Fried Chicken, Nikon cameras, Atari, and the famous United Negro College Fund slogan, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste." Caesar said, "The Obie Awards still don't pay his bills." The hard work Adolph Caesar put into his stage career finally paid off with his career-defining role as Sergeant Waters in the classic play A Soldier's Play, written by Charles Fuller. Caesar won both the Drama Desk Award and an Obie Award for Outstanding Featured Actor for the role. His 5 years in the military gave him unique insight, allowing him to master the role of Sergeant Waters, which he performed over 600 times during the play's 3-year run. He also mentored future stars like Denzel Washington and Samuel L. Jackson, who were in the play. Despite the accolades, Caesar noted that the Obie Awards still don't pay his bills, and his main income remained voice narration. In 1984, the play was adapted into the film A Soldier's Story by Canadian filmmaker Norman Jewison. The film version faced resistance, as companies like Warner Brothers, Universal, and Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer all turned it down, believing a black story based on World War II would not make money at the box office. Columbia Pictures eventually agreed to fund the film with a modest $5 million budget. Caesar reprised his role as Sergeant Waters. He initially thought he wouldn't be cast, believing the studio would want a big-time Hollywood actor. The film became a hit, grossing $22 million at the box office and is now considered a classic. The film, a murder mystery set on a Louisiana Army base during Jim Crow days, resonated deeply. Adolph Caesar revealed that he cried every time he saw a particular scene that was based on real-life stories his uncle and other black soldiers told him. The scene depicted white men telling white women that black men had tails like monkeys, and a black soldier was paid to put on a fake tail, dance on tables, and make monkey sounds. Caesar called it the most difficult scene for him to watch. For his performance in A Soldier's Story, Caesar received high honors. An Oscar Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. A Golden Globe Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. He won the NAACP Image Award for Outstanding Actor. He won the Los Angeles Film Critics Association Award for Best Supporting Actor. The film helped launch the careers of many black stars, including Denzel Washington, who was also in the play. A Soldier's Story cemented Caesar's status as an elite actor. Following the critical success of A Soldier's Story, Adolph Caesar secured another iconic role in 1985 in Steven Spielberg's classic film, The Color Purple. He played the character Old Mr. Johnson, the father of Danny Glover's character. Despite his convincing portrayal of an older man, Caesar was only 50 years old when he played the role. He was considered one of the funniest parts of the movie, with memorable lines like when he questioned Celie's suitability, saying she was black as tar, nappy-headed, legs like baseball bats. The movie went on to make over $100 million at the box office. The momentum of his career was tragically halted on March 6, 1986. Adolph Caesar died from a fatal heart attack while filming a movie. It was the second day on the set of the comedy-adventure movie Tough Guys, starring Burt Lancaster and Kirk Douglas. When he arrived on set in Los Angeles for Walt Disney Productions, he told the staff he wasn't feeling well. He then started feeling dizzy, collapsed, and went into cardiac arrest. Staff members called paramedics, but he was pronounced dead in the emergency room just a few minutes later. Adolph Caesar was only 52 years old. The movie Tough Guys had to replace him with actor Eli Wallach. At his funeral, many stars showed up to pay their respects, including Denzel Washington and Patti LaBelle, who sang, "How Great Thou Art." The life of Adolph Caesar epitomized the struggle and eventual triumph of the committed black artist in Hollywood. He was a dedicated Shakespearean actor who overcame the systemic racism that forced him to rely on voice narration to pay the bills. He channeled his vast experience into his acclaimed role as Sergeant Waters, earning him an Oscar nomination for A Soldier's Story. His death at 52, while filming Tough Guys, remains a cruel irony. It occurred just as he was solidifying his status as an elite actor, fresh off his success in The Color Purple. Yet, his legacy endures. The Negro Ensemble Company honored him by establishing the Adolph Caesar Performing Arts Award. Robert Townsend dedicated his movie, Hollywood Shuffle, to Caesar, illustrating the deep impact he had on his colleagues. Adolph Caesar was a man who fought tirelessly for his art and left behind a powerful body of work that continues to inspire.